coverings and the shelter in place, all the things that New Yorkers actually have done to a remarkable degree. My message to the rest of the country is learn from how much effort, how much discipline it took to finally bring these numbers down, and follow the same path until you're sure that it's being beaten back. Or else, if this thing boomerangs, you're putting off any kind of restart or recovery a hell of a lot longer.
Coronavirus. To get daily news updates in your inbox, sign up for the CNN newsletter. Coronavirus. Fact versus fiction.
President today, well, a series of remarkable tweets, including one threatening to strongly regulate or even shut down social media platforms. This after Twitter fact-checked 2 of the president's false tweets about mail-in ballots. President claiming social media platforms are trying to, quote, silence conservative voices. With me now, CNN White House correspondent Caitlin Collins and CNN political analyst Julie Hirschfeld-Davis, also congressional editor to the New York Times. Caitlin, I want to start with you, and this is a question, I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep asking it, but I feel I have to, is why the president decides to focus his attention where he focuses it, especially at key moments. The front page of USA Today, similar to what we saw Sunday in the New York Times, paying tribute to the dead. The United States of America, most likely on this day or tomorrow, will hit 100,000 Americans killed by coronavirus. The president knows this. He knows this. I know he doesn't want to talk about it, but he's president of the United States. And among the things he's tweeting about today and that he talked about yesterday, I want you to listen to him here. This is in the Rose Garden. This is the president of the United States in the Rose Garden. There's a reckless, unproven, unfounded, ridiculous allegation against Joe Scarborough that he might have committed a murder. That's the reckless part. And the president says this.
Yeah, a lot of people suggest that. And hopefully someday people are going to find out. It's certainly a very suspicious situation, very sad and very suspicious.
As I said in the last hour, if you or I tweeted that or said that, we would be fired, and rightly so. What does he think is to be gained here?
Well, and that was in response to a question about that woman's widow writing a letter asking Twitter to remove the president's tweets about this allegation because he says that they're causing immense pain, not only for him, but also for this woman's family. And she died nearly 20 years ago. And now they're having to relive this with a national spotlight on it because of the president's allegations that, we should note, the White House press secretary was defending yesterday, but you are not hearing many of the president's own allies, John, do so. They do not think the president should be focusing on this. They do not know why he is, though many will point to the negative comments that Joe Scarborough has made about the president and his time in office, though many people would say that doesn't warrant a murder allegation like what you've seen coming from the president. But if you're looking at what Republicans on Capitol Hill are saying, Liz Cheney just a few moments ago was speaking about the president's comment, saying that she doesn't think he should be making a comment like this, but especially during a pandemic as the nation's death toll is closing in on 100,000. And so it's just a time of crisis, and this is what the president is choosing to focus on because he doesn't like the coverage always of how he's been handling that crisis.
And Julie, as you well know from covering the White House in the past, the president doesn't like when people tell him he's wrong, and he usually doesn't listen. So there's another approach some people take. The president has been very dismissive of masks. He doesn't want to be photographed with one. He refused to wear one because people could see him on a factory floor in Michigan, even though it was a requirement. Some Republican governors who desperately want to keep the situation in their states under control are encouraging mask use. Listen to Mike DeWine here. He doesn't criticize the president. He chooses a different approach.
The instruction as old as the Bible. You're supposed to love your fellow man and woman, and that's what we're really doing. I think that's the message, that you're not wearing it so much for yourself as you are wearing it for that person that you're going to come in contact with.
We have, since the early days of this presidency, watched Republicans sort of get into the pretzel-like contortions trying to figure out how to get through this. In the pandemic, Governor DeWine seems to have figured it out.